Hello, we're going to talk about chord voicings. And we're going to talk about chord voicings in the key of C. There's 7 chords in the key of C, all based off of the notes in the key of C. C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F 7, F major 7, G 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, flat 5. And how we're going to approach this is from first just playing the C scale on the B string. Now we're going to play the C scale starting on G on the E string. And now we're going to put them together. So now we have intervals of fifths. C to G is a fifth, D to A is a fifth, etc. Heard people play that, right? Lick 17B, I think it is. Okay, now let's add one more note. Well, let's add a B and make it interesting. So we'll have that close interval. So up the C scale again on the 3rd string. Starting on B. Now we put these 3 together. B, C, and G. Now here's how we go about it. We just take the G and go to A like it would in the scale. The C goes to D and the B goes to C. And so on. B, C, and G. C, D, and A. D, E, and B. E, F, and C. F, G, and D, G, A, and E, B, E, and F, and back to where we started, B, C, and G. Now here's the thing. These are incomplete voicings. They're not really there are 3 notes, but they're not a triad. It's not, it's a major 7th, the root, and the 5th of C. But against D, it's something else. Against E, it's, against the other notes in the scale, it's going to be something else. And they're going to work for all of the chords in the key of C. Here's what it sounds like against C. So again, they're not a full C major chord, but you can, if you see a C major 7th, you don't have to go to the box, the box voicing that we learned from the diagram. You put your fingers here, and that's C major 7th. That's a voicing for C major 7th. That is not all there is to C major 7th. To what C major 7th is about is this whole scale and all the notes in it and how they relate to C. To a C major chord, let's say that. So we have the major 7th, the root, the 5th, the root, the 9th, or the 2nd, and the 6th, the 9th, the 3rd, and the major 7th, the 3rd, the 4th, and the root, the 4th, the 5th, and the 9th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 3rd, the 6th, the major 7th, and the 4th, and back to the major 7th, the root, and the 5th. So now You can see how they function against C major 7. I mean, with the ones with an F in them, you know, even though it sounds cool, F isn't obviously in a C major 7th. But in a passing chord, still part of the scale that goes with that chord and where that chord is made from. The chord is the first, third, and fifth notes in the scale. So if we went to the 2 chord, which would be D minor 7th, these are also going to function and be cool over D minor 7th. This one has a complete D minor 7th sound. It has the root, the 3rd, the 7th, and the 9th. Some of them just have all tensions, like this is the 6th, the 7th, and the 11th. But that's our sound. So now when you see the D minor 7th funk groove, Dorian funk groove, and you're in the band and you're playing that jam on the D minor 7th, we're not just stuck with that. Or so if you're in any way, you know, stuck in your chord vocabulary, here's a way to add 7 new voicings for C major 7, D minor 7th, E minor 7th, F major 7th, G 7th, A minor 7th, B minor 7 flat 5 in the key of C. I mean, when you change keys, it's going to be all the same shapes. They're going to function differently against the roots. That's all that's happening here. Just like it functions differently against C, that is going to function differently against A. The 6th chord in A minor 7th, that B is the 9th, the C is the 3rd, and the G is the 7th. Just like in D minor 7th, that same shape gives you the same thing. The 9th, the 3rd, and the 7th. The same shape here with A in the bass, the 6th note and the 6th chord in C major. They're going to function differently. But it's the same fingering. You hear my bird singing in the background. I must dig the sounds. Out there, that's Phrygian, and against the F, same thing. Against the G, you know, they all work. So whatever that is, 7 new voicings for each chord, 7 chords, 49 voicings, whatever the math is. You can see where we're going with this. Now let's add one more note. Let's add the E, and that's our first voicing. So up the C scale, starting on E, and the same thing. The E goes to an F, the B goes to a C, the C goes to a D, the G goes to an A. And so on. E, B, C, and G, F, C, C, B, F, G, and D, C, G, A, and E, D, A, B, and F, and back to where we started, E, B, C, and G. And say, for instance, against the A minor, that functions as a complete A minor 7th chord. As the root A in the bass, E is the 5th, and then we get the B, which is the 9th, the C is the 3rd, and the G is the 7th. And again, C. So again, the ones that have an F in them, if they're against a C, the F isn't in the C major chord. So that's more of a passing chord. We would C in the bass, that sounds more like an F than a C in the bass. It's more like a 4 chord. So, again, it's how they function against the bass. That same voicing is a real definitive Aeolian sound, which is the 6th. The A is the 6th of C, 6th mode of C. And the defining note in that scale, in the Aeolian scale, is the F, the flatted 6th. So if you're onto the modal stuff, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, don't worry about it. The main thing is get these voicings under your fingers. And work on 1 chord grooves. C major 7th. D minor 7th. Get the idea?